Frightening moments aboard a school bus this morning carrying 17 students in Bolton, just north of Toronto, when the vehicle rolled down a hill towards the Humber River between Kingsview Drive and King Street East. The rear of the bus just hanging over the water.
Was like freaking out and everybody was just like, okay, let's get out of the bus before it might go into the water.
The OPP saying the bus was traveling up this hill here on Humberley Road a little after 8 a.m. when all of a sudden it started rolling back down and descending into the ravine. You can see the tire marks have left deep impressions right on the edge of the embankment.
Some vehicles managed to get out of the way. However, the bus struck a Jeep initially, and then it subsequently struck a Ford Focus, which then hit the tree, and the bus made secondary contact with the Ford Focus. It's pretty terrifying to see a whole bunch of kids in a school bus hanging over a river, so thankfully no one was hurt today.
Luckily, no injuries reported, but Peel paramedics say one person was transported to hospital as a precaution. Some of the damage can be seen along the road. A tree struck and tire marks left along the way. But in the moment, it shook up students at Humberview Secondary School, like 14-year-old Mateo, who didn't want to appear on camera.
We started slowing down at a decent rate. And before we knew it, we were barely moving.
At what point did you realize something was wrong?
When we started slowing down moderately on the way up the hill, and people started to swerve around us, and I saw the flashers on, and I realized, okay, something's really wrong here. I didn't realize that we were facing up until I got out and I looked at the ground, and I realized that we were on a very steep incline. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, we're lucky to be here, right, and not in the water.
There are concerns raised over why and how the bus just stopped and started rolling downhill. Students saying it stalled.
And the whole time we were in the bus today, the bus wouldn't go over 40 miles per hour. So when it was coming, it went up the hill and it stopped going, and it had to it stopped working in general. I don't know what happened.
The OPP was able to tow the bus to Brampton, where it will be inspected. The cause of the collision is still being investigated and charges are pending its outcome. They say the driver is a 35-year-old woman from Brampton. As to how the students made it out,
we got out there, I helped everybody out, and I got out in the middle of them and started helping them climb out of the window.
They couldn't use the back exit, saying it was too close to the water, so they used the emergency exits on the sides of the bus. One of the drivers in the collision also rushed to their side.
They were in the accident and they ran down as fast as they could and helped us all out of the bus. We were up pretty high, so he would stick out his hand. We'd have to step on his hand to get out, because if he wasn't there, we'd probably fall in. That was really scary for me. I know everybody would had a panic attack a little bit right after everybody got out, and a lot of kids were crying, and I was trying to be supportive, but I was also really shook by it.
We reached out to the Ministry of Transportation and Ministry of Education. Part of a combined statement from both ministries reads in part, school buses are required to have an annual and semi-annual inspection conducted by a licensed mechanic at a licensed motor vehicle inspection station in Canada. School buses must also be inspected daily by the driver. We also reached out to Parkview, that's the bus company. I spoke briefly with the general manager, who said safety is a priority and they are cooperating in this investigation. They, however, did not respond to our media request by deadline. In Bolton, I'm Faiza Amin for City News.